doing today? Are you staying safe out there? Are you working from home? Are you practicing social distancing? Please let me know what's going on in your lives today. Now, the one thing I know that within the last 24 hours, we made a video yesterday on the Uber stock literally plummeting down to $14. El Chapo first in the house, he goes, "Yo, how are you?" Many said, "Hey, should we buy at $14 and $15? To be honest, I wanted to buy at 15, but then I said to myself, why would I be supporting a company that is treating, even if I could make, let's say double my money or get 50% more return when and if the stock eventually comes back, right? But I, in my right mind, can't support buying Uber stock knowing how this company treats drivers. Now, the one thing I have been saying or putting out there in the last 2 weeks is that Derek Kay, the CEO, is extremely camera shy. He seems like an introvert. He doesn't seem like the sort of the CEO type, the managing, the leadership type, right? And by not talking, by not giving the drivers any confidence, by not communicating to them, by not communicating to the outside world. Uber bucks, Philly guys, Chuck, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the $1 donation. You rock. By him not installing that confidence, right, what happened was we saw Uber stock drop. In fact, we had people yesterday making songs with the ukulele saying, that Uber was free falling. I wonder now if this guy is listening, right? I know that attorneys at Uber are listening to me very, very carefully, but I wonder if they got the message, because suddenly he jumps out there. Suddenly he jumps out in front of his investors. And note, he jumped out in front of his investors to sort of give them confidence to stop the free fall, right? In no way, in no fashion did he include the verbiage or do anything to reassure drivers on the coronavirus. There was no talk, no mention of the drivers. All he eventually managed to do was get out of his little shy little shell, his cocoon, and say, "Hey, investors, it's okay. We have $10 billion reserves. We can make it through these trying times," right? And when I say that, they are literally, here we are. We're up 38% from yesterday. That's a massive jump within 24 hours. And some people made some really good money from yesterday to today, right? But my question here is this a temporary rebound? Is this a temporary rebound? And I truly believe this is only a temporary rebound. That's a tongue twister. Try and say that 10 times in a row. Temporary rebound, temporary rebound, temporary rebound. Anyway, and here's my alliance, Drivers Unite. This is only a temporary rebound. Thank you. There it is. Maybe he's saying it right now. As Uber stock is covering the short sellers, this crisis has just begun and stock will drop further below $10. Same for Lyft. Now, I think my friend Edward Escobar, love him. He just comes out with such insane articles. And by the way, Edward, if I may share with you our press release, which I'm pushing out for April the 1st, Who's the Fool Now, where we're actually trying to bring attention to this coronavirus and bring attention to the silence towards the drivers on the coronavirus and these empty promises to create like a sick fund. If your English is brilliant, I mean, the guy, I could only dream of writing the way Edward Escobar can, or his team can. The guy nails it, my friends. When that guy speaks, listen, he commands presence. People listen, right? I can definitely speak. I definitely have a mouthpiece. You guys know that. But when it comes to writing, I may want to run that article by Edward and even allow Edward to put some stingers in there, right? Because I am asking for the resignation of a couple of people in this press release, the first one to say it, right? And I am giving strong reasons why these individuals need to resign, because it just goes to show once again that when Derek Kay does decide to step out into the spotlight, which he did yesterday, right? Or today, to reassure his investors and only reassure his investors everything is okay. So I think, I know that Edward Escobar nailed it right there. Says he's only one to like quieten the storm with the short sellers, right? Because the truth is the real storm, hurricanes and tornadoes are still coming. This is so far from over, right? If you look at the trajectory, look at China, which started at the crisis started there end of 2019, right? Now you got December, January, February, March, and slowly but surely the numbers are subsiding. We just sort of like starting right here, right? We right here starting the coronavirus storm. So let's say we follow that same path, March, April, June, July, hopefully by beginning of August, things start to quieten down. Let's say we follow that same trajectory, right? Uber says, hey, we have $10 billion set aside, probably SoftBank and Emirate Fund call in and say, tell them we've got the money. Just tell them that we have money. Tell them that we're going to back this so you can stop the bleeding, stop the free falling, right? So this is, I think, a message that he just put out there to calm the markets down, a jump back. But the truth is, I feel like this is going to come down in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I do believe we could see it going all the way down to $10, $11, $12. I just think this is stopping the free fall and what I call a temporary rebound, because the avalanche of lawsuits, negligence lawsuits, are still coming. And there's going to be big class actions filed because Uber has spoken a lot, but they haven't done much, right? And when you put your drivers into harm's way and they can down the line show that Uber has been matching high-risk riders with drivers and still continues doing so, right? I do believe that there are a lot of lawsuits coming. The first one was filed by Shannon Liss-Riordan a few days ago about this, just about the coronavirus, about the no action, no doing by Uber during these tough times. So she's forcing them. There is still way more to come. So Edward Escobar, if I could run that by you, I specifically want some wording for April the 1st, right? We're going to shut the Uber apps down for a week. We're going to keep the Lyft apps on. And then on the 8th of April at 8 a.m., we're going to reverse it. We're going to switch the Uber apps back on and the Lyft apps back off, just to make a statement, right? To push out a press release and say, who's the fool, right? Who do you think you're fooling, right? You're not fooling us. These are all just words to try and slow the bleeding. But I think the real problems are still coming. Now, fact is, numbers are down, numbers are down 60, they say, while Uber's ride segment has declined 60 to 70%, Derek Kay even said 80% in certain markets. Can you imagine that? 80% in certain markets, it's gone back. And then they say Uber Eats has seen growth. Yes, I do believe him when they say Uber Eats is seeing growth. but not on the level to compensate for that 60 to 70 or 80% decline of rides, right? There will definitely be more people signing up with Postmates and Uber Eats. I've seen a small spike in signups there, but not as much as I think they're trying to hype it, right? Eddie Leal, no hey, pure ciego. Okay, in English, please, but whatever you say, I believe you. Payman Ali says it may define in the future which jurisdictions are okay for Uber. We need to keep track of all the lawsuits. Yeah, there's a lot, right? And then if you need to act, I'm also going to make a video this afternoon. There's a great company down in San Diego. Harry Campbell's Jay Credeau had mentioned them before. I think they're called Potter Handy, if I believe it. I'll share with you the link. There's a calculator. They have a great calculator where you can calculate your damages, right? That might be worth trying out, right? He said that drivers are owed a lot of money during these times. So yes, he is enrolling drivers in his website, but then again, once you've enrolled, you have access to this calculator. So I want to show that as well. I want to jump into the room here. Lopez Perez says, I made $20 today from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you put out $15 of gas. Right there and then you're not making money. You are better off staying at home. And I'll tell you why. If you're making $20 in 5 hours, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? That's $4 an hour. You've spent $15 on gas. You've effectively made $5 in 5 hours. That's $1 per hour. But you haven't even calculated in the wear and tear of your car. So in that 5-hour shift, you're on a big, big negative. You're on a big minus. On paper, it sounds like you may have made $5, but you haven't, right? You've made a big negative. So you are better off figuring out things. Also, part of my live feed, working from home, hashtag stay home. If we can put that in here, hashtag stay home. You got to stay home if you are doing numbers as this person just shared with us. Alliance Drivers United says, Eddie says, there's no worse blind person than a person who doesn't want to see. Exactly. You gotta see and feel what's going on. If you're putting in 5 hours, you've made $20 and you're putting in $15 of gas and you've literally made $5 driving your car around. Like I just said, you haven't even calculated the wear and tear of your car. You got to really, feel and see the pain first. This doesn't make sense. So you're better off staying at home, right? Staying at home and getting on the internet and figuring out, looking at different models, what I call plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, and figure out how you can make money from home. Look at various ways you could maybe there's some positions where you could do phone calls in these trying times for companies, or maybe there's labs right now that are hiring, but you cannot go out there and drive 5 hours burning up $15 of gas to make $20. Negative. Huge negative. Payman Ali says, yeah, but they are in San Diego. I haven't spoken to their office, but unless they have a license, it may. In my state, they can't help me. I see the Californians, right? Exactly. Unless they have a Nevada license, they can't really represent you. You did the calculator. Okay, somebody just used the calculator. Basil Al-Hassan says, I left for London, England and stopped working for Uber. They don't give a crap about us. Or a shit about us, whatever, which way. So the headlines, here the headlines, Uber stock skyrockets after CEO says it has plenty of cash to get through coronavirus. Uber said in a call with investors, of course, it has enough cash on hand to get through the coronavirus crisis. Uber said its ride segment is seeing a 60 to 70% decline in areas hit hardest, but the food delivery segment is picking up. Uber stock rallied as much as 40% Thursday morning. The move also caused Lyft stock to rise as much as 31%. There he is, our favorite friend here, this character. Shares of Uber and Lyft skyrocketed. Uber stock was up as much as 40% Thursday following the call. Shares of competitor Lyft were also up as much as 31%. Uber CEO Derek Kay said the ride segment is seeing a 60 to 70 decline by the coronavirus pandemic, but it also has seen growth in its food delivery business for Uber Eats. We believe we're already seeing the worst of the impact and the recovery in some places. You're such a liar. Seeing the recovery, it hasn't even started. You see, this is the BS that comes out of their mouths when he says, we believe we're already seeing the worst of the impact. They haven't even touched the worst of the impact yet, and the recovery in some places. I don't know how he can talk about a recovery when the curve is just taking off, right? You got to look at the trajectory of China. Look at it of Italy. We're 2-3 weeks behind, and here he is talking about we're already seeing, the recovery in some places. I mean, that is just the biggest lie you put out there, right? Using lies to try and slow down the slump. You'll see, mark my words, this is a temporary rebound, my friends. Sure, Basel, they have to gain investors' confidence, but look, overall, after 2 or 3 weeks, when these numbers start going up and up and up, and other markets get shut down and the restrictions become tighter on us, you watch. That 60, 70% goes up to 85, 90% drop, right? So I don't think they're remotely seeing any recovery yet, remotely, right? Shares of Uber saw all-time lows this week as investors likely viewed Uber more as a travel company than tech business, right? There we go. I mean, it just, again, shows you they try to make it sound like that the company is a tech company, but the market is really telling them you are a travel company. So Tony West, listen to that, right? Own words are going to come back and haunt them. I tell you right now, it's just the way it's going to be. Watch this play out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Let's have another discussion mid-April about this. Okay, let's see where they are mid-April. Rick Nelson says, where's the money for drivers? And to think the stock market believes it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Where is the mention that they had some backup plan for drivers? Nothing. This conversation that he did very, very late in the game, all of these actions very late in the game are basically trying to calm the investors down. There is nothing, no verbiage, nothing in these press releases that includes driver language. Several health and government officials have asked the public to avoid non-essential travel and stay at home in a bid to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Some officials have also closed restaurants and bars to the public. We know about that, right? Many of these bars and restaurants in your cities have closed down, are closing down, will close down. So it's definitely not getting better for the next few weeks, right? So to mention recovery, the word recovery is just a very, very clear lie. Alliance, says Drivers Unite, is from Uber and Lyft corporate against AB5. Can you make the next event to protect driver flexibility? Over 2 million voters have signed our petition to protect driver flexibility for Uber and Lyft drivers. Thank you. Derek Kay says, our Eats business is an important resource right now. Even in Seattle, our Eats business is still growing. Uber did not update its guidance on Thursday because the situation is so fluid. But Khosrowshahi said it could do so in the future. While reporting fiscal fourth quarter earnings in February, Uber moved its target for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciations, and amortizations to fourth quarter 2020 ahead of its original promise of profitability in 2021. It's also said it's forecasting a 1.35 billion loss EBITDA at the middle of the range of 2020. So, this promise of becoming profitable in 2020, I'm pretty sure that's out of the window. They may have moved it to 2021. I don't know. But, it comes out very quickly making all of these promises, and then the market dictates. The market's showing him what's really, really going on. Khosrowshahi said the company has ample liquidity to get through the pandemic. As of the end of February, he said Uber has 10 billion in unrestricted cash. In any crisis, liquidity is key, he said. Several companies have shut down or limited operations in an effort to slow the virus and have warned of the financial impact. In an annual financial filing on March the 2nd, Uber warned that a pandemic or an outbreak of a disease or similar public health concern, such as a recent coronavirus outbreak or fear of such an event, could pose a material risk to its business. The company has since suspended its carpool service and started to waive delivery fees for small businesses in some of its markets. Now, I read you an article. I could read you 5 or 6 other similar articles. Nothing, no mention of the company having a backup plan for drivers. No mention, no plan of the company setting up a fund, a relief fund, or a sick leave fund for drivers. Nothing. This is all talk to the investors saying, hey, believe in us. We still have some cash. We will see this through. But then on the other hand, in the same article says we're already seeing recovery. That is just the fattest lie. The fattest lie I have heard, that he starts talking about recovery. Recovery when you haven't even hit the peak of the curve yet, right? Where if you're looking at graphs, right? Even if you're looking at graphs where the flattening of the curve has kicked in, we are still 2-3 weeks behind China or Italy. We actually weeks and weeks behind China, but we are a few weeks behind Italy. So you cannot put the verbiage of recovery out there yet. That's why the title of my video, I call it a temporary rebound. Very late in the game, he says a few reassuring words to investors, and the stock comes up slightly. Let's watch what happens from here on. My predictions, the sucker is going down till about $12. Edward Escobar says Uber Lyft will not be able to have their March 30th anti-AB5 event. Good. Mark Roughton blowing smoke, blowing a lot of smoke and mirrors, my friends. Edward Escobar says COVID-19 crisis will prevent the AB5 challenge from being successful. Yep. Karma, right, Edward? Isn't that called karma? Isn't there such a thing called... Andrew Malone says, I had a private investor who is a good customer of my day business. Uber is playing shell game with there, and he advises all of his customers not to invest in Uber. Rhino Parts, Alliance, kill all the apps typing. Rhino Parts, he doesn't have to. He has official permission from me to put it in caps, because he is one of the guys out there pushing out press releases, doing the work for you guys. So give him that. He has full-on permission from me. You may not like it, I understand it, but I would prefer his messages to stick out here, because if you read them, they make 200% sense, my friends. Rideshare 411, how's everyone doing today? Good. My friends, hashtag stay at home, hashtag social distancing. What are we talking feet wise? Let's see if somebody's reading. How many feet are we supposed to stay away from the other person? Rex Righteous says, trying to keep a good sense humor through all of these real life news and fake ones. Exactly. Got to keep the sense. Exactly. Thank you. Paul Figueroa got the right answer. First person to say it. 6 feet. 3 meters is actually 9 feet. So you're talking about 2 to 2.5 meters. 6 feet is correct. Paul Figueroa. Bingo! Won that round. San Diego. So 6 feet, as tall as I am. So that's sort of like, okay, end of the table there. You over there, you can talk to me. Here's a little bit of a scary fact, not to inject any fear, but the top medical journals yesterday announced that the actual virus can maintain or can stay alive on a surface for a few days. And in an air environment, let's say somebody walks into a shopping center, coughs, it can stay within the air in the ventilation for up to 5 hours. So you may have had an individual go in there, cough, 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 they leave, tons of people come in, it's in the air, tiny particles, in the next few hours, boom, you got it. So this is why, like, anyone sneezing or coughing, stay the fuck away from them, okay? Make it a rule that you sort of keep your distance 6 feet. Dennis Torres in the house, Long Beach City. With you, my brother. John Bauer, good to see you here. I haven't seen you for a long, long time. Doing well, slight cough, but that's nothing, I'm sure. Just monitor it, my friend, monitor it. Payman Ali, maybe we need some accounting reform. I would hope so. Exactly. 6 feet under. Social distancing, Rick Nelson, 6 feet under. Alliance, FYI, I type in caps to make it easier for Torsten to see. That's it. I'm with you, my friend. I told you, you have my perfect, you have my permission, my perfect permission to do that, because it is easier. As I'm reading the screen, I know that's a statement by Edward. And, you know, guys, go to his website, put it there, please. You've met Edward Escobar in several of the call-ins. The guy is out there fighting the fight, is the real deal, my friends, right? If you go back in my videos, you will see the guy's out there fighting and fighting. He's a driver himself, fighting for the drivers, right? We need a couple of warriors to stand up and not be shy, right? The test costs $2,000. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be free. The head of the CDC committed. One of the politicians pressured him and said, you got to make it free for every American. Will you commit here today to make it free? Wouldn't do it. She got him to commit. That test should be free. You shouldn't be paying unless you're talking overseas. Maybe you're talking overseas, but you're using a dollar sign, so you're using American dollars. It should be free in the United States. John Bauer, yes, that was a joke. Good to see you as well. Prof, I still watch content, just tough to be live sometimes. Absolutely. True that, Basil. Abstract Echo, Edward means business. He certainly does. Edward is all about business. So, Edward, the press release we're pushing out at the end of the week, maybe I could get some feedback from you. Maybe you could, Edward, if you want to send me a quote, I will include it with your hashtag and your the Drivers Unite. I will include it in the press release. If you could send me a little paragraph, please, okay, somewhere around, wording should be about the April 1st strike. It's an online driver strike, right? Uber 1 week off, Lyft 1 week on. 8th of April, we switch. Uber on, Lyft off. Why are we doing this? Because we really are bringing attention to this, the pandemic and the non-action, the lack of action by these rideshare companies addressing drivers during the pandemic. That's pretty much what the story is about, right? And then also, I'm asking for resignation of these individuals because all they talk about is the investors. They never talk about the people that are hauling in the money. Alliance says, whatever you need, brother, it's all for the cause. Thank you. I mean, the reason why I say that is because, here's my problem, and I will let you guys know where my weakness is in the English language, and I own up to this right away. I grew up with so many different languages, speaking so many different languages, right? Because I was in this country, then I was only speaking that language, and I was in this country, then only speaking that language, right? That my brain, like when I'm talking, you'll notice very often that there's a little bit of a delay because I'm trying to figure out, like, for example, my brain's telling me, okay, how do I say this in German, or how do I say it in this language? How do I translate this over into English right now? So it doesn't always come out 100% the way I want to. What I do know is that my heart's in the right place and that the fight that I'm fighting is for a very, very, very powerful and valid cause, right? So sometimes the words flow easier, but sometimes my brain, especially when it comes to mathematics, doing calculations, doing numbers, I'm thinking with my, let's say, German brain, right? And I'm translating into English. I don't know if this does make sense to you, but I'm thinking very often in multiple languages, so it doesn't come across in clear English. Abel Koka, that's an interesting, Koska Kuatli. I like that. That's a cool name. Question, do we know of any drivers that have contracted the virus? We know of 3 people so far, 3 drivers, right? And that's just what we know. The unknown numbers, the driver numbers that are maybe staying at home right now, riding it out, 2-3 weeks, riding it out. We don't know those numbers, right? And hopefully those drivers who haven't been mentioned in the figures, hopefully they've gone in and had themselves checked. Hopefully they are getting public health officials to give them the letters. Hopefully they are submitting those letters through this program. If it works, we'll test it, right? And hopefully these drivers that are suffering from the coronavirus get some help from the companies. Love, light. Blessings to all. Good day, lovers. Thank you, love and light. So Basil says it's not worth driving anymore. If you cannot drive and you have, well, if you want to put your safety first, your health first, your family first, I would suggest don't drive. If you have some reserves stashed away, some dollars stashed away, and you can ride out the storm, cool. If not, there are many people that are working day by day, week by week, right? And you pretty much forced to go out there, and right now you're putting in big hours, very few pings, business is down 60, 70, 80%, as they said, right? Let's just see where the State Department issues highest level travel alert. Advises US citizens to avoid all international travel. I think we knew that, or we know that. Correct. Basil, wait a couple of weeks and you will see the infected Uber drivers' numbers shoot up the roof and everybody will abandon Uber. Correct. And that's why I say, and I'm completely with you. I'd like Payman. I know Payman is always a balancer. He's a type of guy that always tries to balance out my wordings. I'm sometimes pretty harsh in my predicament, but I'm with Basil on this when he says, wait a couple of weeks and you will see the infected Uber drivers' numbers shoot up the roof and everybody will abandon Uber. I'm with you on that. And that's why I'm reaching out to Payman now. How do you counter that, right? What would you say, right? The way I see it, and I'm talking to my brother here, Payman, I'm talking to my brother Basil, there's like a three-way conversation going on right now, right? I see this as a temporary rebound. This guy talking about already using the words recovery. We're seeing recovery. Buddy, you're dreaming. I don't know what you are drinking, what you are smoking, or what you are taking up there in Northern California, but you're drifting in the clouds, brother. You're drifting in the clouds because you can't use the word recovery yet when the worst is still to come. That's why I agree with Basil, right? We know of 3 drivers infected. Just wait. You're at 300. Sadly, I don't want it to go beyond 3. I don't want it to go beyond 3. Now I know. I'm the one who met you last year at the gas station near LAX. Yes, my friend. Wow. I know exactly, right? And your family was overseas, right? And you were trying to help your wife. Basil, that was you, right? That's the conversation we had at 76 Station at the corner of Manchester and Sepulveda. Is that correct? If my memory recollects me, and I meet hundreds and hundreds of drivers, but you were telling me your story. You came to London because we have free healthcare. Dual citizen. You told me the story, right? About your kids, about your wife. Exactly. I remember you well. It's good to put a picture. Yes, I got you. God bless you, my friend. I hope you're well. I hope your family is well. I could truly sense how stressed you were that day, and I was listening to you and you were asking me for advice and we were bouncing it back. We're standing there by 76 gas station talking about sign of the time. That was a year ago. Praying for you, your family, and I'm glad you are you reunited with your wife and kids now? Because you were extremely stressed. That makes me happy. That made my day. That made my day because I could truly feel your pain on that day as you were telling me the story. He's at a 76 station at the corner of Sepulveda and Manchester telling me how he needs to connect with his wife and family, how he cannot get them in, how the passports or whatever are separating them. And then he manages to get to London to be reunited with his family. Imagine how stressful that must be for a father or for a mother when you know that your family is over here and you can't get them to reunite with you, right? And a year later now, he decides to go over to London. He drops Uber and everything here. He goes over to London to be with his kids and family. As he says, the healthcare system is better there. It is. I remember the years that I worked in Germany for a big company, how amazing, how truly amazing the healthcare system was. They paid for all my tuition. They paid for my university. They paid for all my healthcare. I had 2 surgeries on my sinuses, everything. I never had a frickin' bill. Never. I'd never paid for tablets. I never paid for surgery. I never paid, and I just had, these polyps here, these things opened up, and I was in the hospital for a few days. I walked out paying 0.00. I didn't have to make any phone calls. I didn't have to phone any insurance providers. Everything was taken care of. My overheads in Europe while I was there, my rent, my car, my partying, that's where I spent money on. But everything else was paid for me. And yes, taxes were high, but it was amazing. Truly, truly amazing times in Germany. Loved it. Payman Ali says, don't risk it. Your life is more valuable. So yeah, here we are. Today. What are we looking at right now? Let's see. From yesterday, up 38%. After hours trading, it's dropping down again. I have news for you, Derek K. If you go out there, talk to the investors and try to get their confidence back, or try and say, hey, we have the money, we'll be okay, we'll ride out the storm. And in these articles, in the press release, you're already talking about seeing recovery. You are dreaming, my friend. You are dreaming. He's used the word, we're already seeing recovery. You haven't even seen the beginning of the storm yet. And cities already down 60, 70, 80%, right? You may see a little spike in Uber Eats, but you are not seeing any recovery, right? And you have not seen the avalanche of lawsuits that will follow. This will all still come. It's going to hit them like a tornado. So I call this a temporary rebound, right? Enjoy it while you can. If you've made a little bit of money from yesterday, today, good for you. If you make a little bit more money from today till tomorrow, good for you. But let's talk again in 3 or 4 weeks. Let's have the same conversation. Payman Ali says, that's rough, brother. May things become easier for you. Exactly. Ellen Mills, after my mother won a Devilla scratcher and she fell and hit the head, slipped downstairs in her home and died. She was totally healthy, being married 40 years. My father took her to Israel. Wow. Sorry to hear that. Alliance driver says, closed restaurants and bars to the public, only allowing pickup or delivery. Because of that, Uber has seen an increase in Uber Eats. And it's not a massive one. It's not a massive increase at all, right? Nightjackers, good to see you here. Work last night in LA, made $47, and I had one $60 private ride. See, that one private ride made you more than the $47. Got to have those private. I've been telling you guys for months, for years, for months and years. And the guys that followed my advice are truly in a far better place now. And that is, put the money aside and start getting your private limo license. I've been preaching this for years. And I can tell you that there are numerous people, and I mean numerous, who've emailed and thanked me and said, you know what is the best advice I took? Because you already have the car. You've already spent the money on your office. You already know the game. You know the service game. You know the rideshare game. Now you go out and you put that money aside for your private limo license. Now, I got to say this in the same breath that my private bookings have gone down 30%. 30%, I calculated it yesterday, 30%. But my bookings are of different nature, and that is like, can you get this to us? Can you get this to us? Can you take us to Liège? Can you get our dogs here? Right, so I have some crazy requests right now, demanding more money, definitely demanding more money, demanding danger pay, right? Demanding more money from my private clients. But I go out there, I have boxes and boxes of gloves. I change gloves numerous times a day. Look like this, right? Like this, right? Numerous times a day. I've bought tons and tons of all the good stuff in case I have to get sick. The best of the best products on the market. I've bought it. I have enough, more than enough in reserves, to not work for several years if I have to, right? So don't worry about that. My savings are good. And I try and help. It's my duty now to get on and help people. Alliance, I echo that. At hashtag Drivers Unite. Let's put that out there so everybody knows that. Use that in your next posting, please. Love and light, I am already subpoenaing Uber. I've sent them a lot of papers, keeping them busy. Don't you worry, honey. I am keeping them busy. Let's see, where is it? Diversify as much as possible, says Edward Escobar. Yeah, and that means know your plan B, know your plan C, know your plan D, and know your plan E. If you are working from home, if you have the hours, please, I ask you this, start looking into setting up your social media. Set up your Twitter, set up your Facebook, set up your YouTube, and start getting creative. Start getting creative, finding creative ways to bring money in. Alliance, hashtag Drivers Unite, says this is a wake-up call to when self-driving vehicles come in and take over Uber and Lyft. Prepare now, right? And that is also why you want to join up with the co-op, right? www.localdriver.co, because when we eventually get to driverless cars, the co-ops, you will be owning them. The co-ops will be owning the vehicles. Those vehicles will be working for you. We have a different model. It's way more advanced. It's not this selfish, greedish, like getting Uber and Lyft, getting their investors to driverless cars so that they make the money with the driverless cars. The co-op will own the driverless cars. My Info CLA drive signed up already. Ukaman in the house. Said hashtag Drivers Unite. Ukaman, I loved your video. Did everybody see that song? Now I'm free falling and I'm free falling. Did you see the guy with the ukulele? He's in the house. Ukaman, gotta love him. Creativity, 100%. Thank you. Mark Roughton, I'll be dead when driverless cars are here. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Well, hey, maybe they come in 30 years' time. I want you to live a long, long life, my friend. Expert's Choice, good to see you. Nice to see you. Robert Garrison, nice to see you. Atlanta, representing Atlanta in the house. Right, so I will drop in those articles here. We're on after hours. It's dropping a bit to 2042. But they pushed out literally back-to-back 2 press releases, right? That, okay, the Uber stock is skyrocketing, blah, 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 we're recovering. All just words, my friend, words. I call this a temporary rebound. Enjoy it while you can, Uber. And I think Edward Escobar's on the same page as me. He knows that the true storm is still coming. Karma is definitely biatch. And if the Wall Street people, if the financial people come across this video, they're going to say, what are these drivers talking about? You will see that the drivers have the most clear picture, clear future picture of the Uber shit show, right? They understand exactly what's going on, right? And that is that there is not recovery taking place right now, as this guy says. It's harsh. Speak to drivers. If investors and the public, if you want to get some input about the Uber stock, just read what the drivers have to say, read what they have to say in their markets, how much it's down, right? And we've just hit the beginning of the curve. And here, this fool here starts talking about recovery. We're already in recovery mode, trying to reassure them that, he's got $10 billion in the bank. Hold on to that $10 billion. You're going to need it, right? Because it's going to dwindle. It's going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, to a point where you're going to start tapping into your credit lines. Because we're free falling now, we're free falling. Welcome to the Uber Shit Show. Sherelle is in the house. Good. Switcho, we talked about that, right? While I was live streaming in Long Beach. She was there by the window and we were talking to each other and she said, I'm going to sign up for food deliveries. Good for you. Get out there, Sherelle. Remember what I said? You sign up under my Postmates, I'll give you that money when it comes through. Ronald Maybury. Hey, Torsten. Happy first day of spring. We're in spring? Cool. From Delaware. Uber Eats is rocking. Good. I like that. That's some good news. Got fires there, exclamation marks. Awesome. I can feel a lot of upbeat energy there from Ronald Maybury. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Alliance, hashtag Drivers Unite. Mark, you'd be dead already because self-driving is already here. It's just not fully rolled out. But then again, Uber, Lyft are not fully rolled out, and look at their severe impact on society. James Skidmore, hello to the room. Hello. Robert Garrison, that $10 billion came off the backs of drivers. I would say so. All right, my friends. What are we at? We're at the 51-minute mark. Some free falling. Love and Light, what's the news on our media writings? I should be reading you the press release on Friday, Saturday, tomorrow, or on the weekend, and then we'll push it out on Monday, which gives us enough time to gear up for the media to get out before the 1st of April. That's the update. Right, we're on, what date are we on today? On March the 19th. We have 11 days to go. Now, great article by TechCrunch as Uber and Lyft continue to melt. The 2019 unicorn class loses its shine. You'd be excused for feeling that mid-2019 was in a different decade as far as venture-backed IPOs go. Last year saw a number of successful flotations of venture-backed technology and technology-enabled companies, and most performed well after they began trading. But despite some early success, a number of the most famous 2019 IPOs have seen their valuations decline rapidly in ensuing quarters. In some cases, once richly valued public unicorns are off more than twice the market's recent declines, have given up all their gains earned as public companies, or fallen under their final private market valuations. It's a stunning reversal for several of the most lauded companies to come out of the venture capital machine in a decade. Yeah. James says driver said he's going to force passengers to pay $500 if they piss or puke in his car. Expert choices DUS got deact. Does that mean deactivated? And who is DUS? No, I don't look, Ronald. He asked me, do you think Uber and Lyft will dump pool rides? No, it's their biggest money maker. You know, the moment we weather this storm and we through this in, I would say, 4 months' time, I think in August we should be good shape. I'm sure there will be enough vaccines out there. They'll bring this back immediately. Oh, Dave, the Uber slave, yeah, I heard he got deactivated. Actually, I need to go and jump on his channel. Have you seen any? What is his latest video? Let's see what David's latest video is. His latest video is from 3 hours ago. Dave, the Uber slave, and says, my Uber account on hold. Big reason, it's a BS bullshit job. Money is already tight. Okay, I will watch that. Well, he has Lyft as a backup, right? Yeah. But under review doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. This was a little bit of funny humor here. Has everybody seen this? That's his treadmill. Just made himself a homemade treadmill. People are getting, I gotta say, the one thing you gotta say about this, you have to admit about this pandemic is that people are coming up with some crazy, funny ass videos. That's for sure. Free falling. Yes, I did. Will respond. I get so many emails, it's hard. You spend so much time responding to everyone. Will respond. In Vegas, it's not just down, it's closed. No, they don't give reasons for deactivation. They'll just say it's under review or specialized. It's not a good thing when they say a specialized team is looking at it. It's not a good thing. And my guess, here's my guess. If Dave, the Uber slave, is listening, here's my guess. It was very, very convenient for Uber to deactivate one of my main accounts. Why? Because there were, and I'm talking thousands, even over $100,000 worth of referral dollars owed to me, right? So if they can find a reason to cut me off, which they did, they don't have to pay me out. So they're still using my links to this very day, right? Let's see. to this very day. This is the code that I'm talking about. Hello?
Hi, is this Torsten?
Speaking.
This is Rocky from Consultations. How are you?
Good, very well. Oh yes, yeah, thank you so much. Excellent.
We just got back in. We have that one. We have the Breathe X back in stock. We have almost the entire company back in stock.
Oh, you have everything there. Oh, fantastic.
Almost every. Yep, we just got this huge shipment in. So I think we used to. I could have sworn the formula was deep lung, but it's actually called lung capacity. So we have plenty in stock at the moment. We just got shipment.
And the manufacturer is
Life Seasons.
It's not the Wish Garden.
Okay. So I do have Life Seasons right here. Let me see if I have Wish Garden Deep Lung. You are correct. I'm sorry about that. I think I'm mixing up the formula.
Okay, not a problem. I'll take what you have. I'll take what you have. But the one that I actually asked for was Deep Lung by Wish Garden.
By Wish Garden. Okay, you got it. Let me just check to see if I have that in stock right now.
Cool. No, you don't have it in stock. You don't. I don't think you have. Or maybe it came in. Maybe it came in.
Oh, okay. So we did receive Wish Garden yesterday, but they didn't ship it. So okay. I don't see the Deep Lung from Wish Garden. I'm sorry about that. I must have gotten that confused. We don't have that in yet, but I did have another company called from Life Seasons called that
cool.
Lung X. So I'm sorry about that.
No, not to worry. I'm not faulting you for that. I will come and get that today. I'll come and collect that this afternoon. Okay. Is that okay? Can you hear me?
I think I can still give you a call when the Wish Garden arrives.
Okay, but I will. In the meantime, I'll come in today and I'll pick that up.
You got it. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it.
Torsten.
Awesome. Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Of
Bye-bye.
course. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Some good news. Oh, Sherelle, you did? Awesome. Yeah, it's good. The best of the best of the best. It's costly, but it's the best. That will see you through, again, not to mention names, but some of the clients that I drive are rock stars. And when they had pneumonia or lung issues, I would get the stuff to them ASAP and have them literally back on track within 48 hours, 72 hours. This stuff is off the fucking charts. I apologize for that interruption, but Sherelle knows what I'm talking about. I want some. If you get sick, you hit me up. I'm buying reserves, so we'll stay healthy. Anybody gets really sick, you hit me up. I stash the reserves. I buy the good stuff, because don't want my kids to get sick. Don't want my fiance to get sick. Don't want to get her kids sick, myself sick, friends sick, family sick. Got to take care of each other. Yep. Alrighty. So we shall see, right? We shall see where this goes. Umar has a very nice message. He says, stay safe, drivers. Don't worry about this shit job. Nothing matter than your health. That's wonderful. Those are very kind words, and I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. All right. We're a huge, gigantic family of 3 million people. We take care of each other. We will get through this. Not sure how they're going to get through this, but we're going to get through this. Because I think we couple of notches, far higher IQ and EQ. We have a far higher IQ and EQ than these guys have all put together. Seriously, and I'm not joking about this. These are cold-hearted bastards here. to come out with a press release just talking to investors and not talking to drivers, not even mentioning your drivers in coronavirus. You're looking at a cold, heartless bastard right over there. That's what he is. And if I'd see him face to face, I'd tell him this chicken shit. If I ever see him on the road, if I ever see him at some meeting, I'll tell him, you're a cold, heartless bastard. You have put dollars over lives. That's who he is. Payman Ali says, stay healthy and safe. Opposite of stay wealthy, right? Stay healthy, not stay wealthy. Stay healthy. Cool. Love you all. Godonicom says, Mississippi casinos are closed down. Thank you for that update. If someone did escape, open cruise ship or use the Uber driver for the getaway car. Don't get on these ships. Don't get on any passenger liners, please. I mean, those are floating Petri dishes. I cannot think of anything worse than being on a cruise liner right now. Forget it. No matter what prices they throw at you, no matter how cheap these cruises are, $99 cruises, stay away. You do not want to get onto a Petri dish, onto a floating Petri dish. Dennis Torres, sending love to Long Beach City. I appreciate you all. If anybody could rally right now and give me a few thumbs up, that helps me push the videos up so that Dara sees our videos. We're on 40. Maybe we can get it up to 50. That would be wonderful. We could push it up. It's on 41. Our stock is rising. Our human driver stock is rising. It's rising. Our human driver stock is rising. I'm not sure about theirs, but our human driver stock is rising. We're on 42. We're going up. Everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. Shemaine Wilson in the house. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you. Look after yourself. Take care of your family. Be safe out there, Shemaine. Be safe out there, Mark. We're on 46. Our stock is going up. Our human driver stock is going up. There we go. I love it. You guys are awesome. Check that out. You see? You're setting the frequency for the days, my friend, for the day. For the day is ahead. For the day is ahead. For the safety ahead. For the safety ahead. Ooh, Sherelle hit us with a whole bunch of hearts there. Got to take that picture. Everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. Everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. There are some funny stuff. There's some funny stuff floating around on social media right now. Hilarious stuff. That's the frequency we're setting for the week. Everybody stay safe. Thumbs up. Dennis, boxing gloves, balloons, party time. Yeah, I like it. We're on 49, almost there. We almost hit our goals. Our human driver stock is going up. I like the little green men. What are those? James Skidmore. I've never seen those. It looks like the Joker, right? What are those? Zombies? Are those zombies? Yeah, man. Tons of gold time. We hit 50. We hit our goal. You know what? That's what I heard as well, Richard, that Japan has a cure for Novell. Shemaine Wilson, power. I've got the power. Oof, doo, doo, doo. I got the power. Yeah, we're going to do it, my friends. We're going to do this together with a combination of humor, with a combination of support, with a combination of love, with a combination of light, with a combination of driver smarts. We will get through this together. Amen to you all. Have a great day. God bless you all, and please be safe. Stay safe. Work from home. Hashtag save the workers. Hashtag save the drivers. Hashtag social distancing. Hashtag stay at home. Have a good one.